today's video is all about how to curl your hair. So I know I've done a couple of curling hair videos in the past and shown you how I do it and things like that, but I've never really done a huge in-depth video. So first I'm just going to talk through some tips and then I will show you how to curl your hair in a minute. If you want to skip to the kind of main hair curling part, I'll leave like a little thing so you can skip here. But personally, I definitely recommend you sitting through these tips because they'll definitely help you achieve the best curl. So my first tip is choosing your curling wand to suit your hair. So personally, I always prefer to use a curling wand that is the same width the whole way through, like this one. So if you see, the barrel is the same width the whole way through. If you use one of those conical ones, which is the one where it's thicker at the top and smaller at the bottom, it's a lot harder to curl your hair because your hair kind of slips down to the bottom of the wand, which is usually the thinnest part. So I always say, if you're going to curl your hair, choose a curling wand that's the same width. So my next tip is about the width of the curling wand. So for example, this curling wand is very, very thin compared to this one. You see there's a huge difference in the width, and with these wands you'll get completely different looks. With this thin wand you'll get kind of a spirally, really kind of Shakira look curl, and with this one you get more of a beachy wave Victoria's Secret curl, kind of a little bit like this. Well, it is this because I've just curled my hair. And if you want something in between, go for one that's in between. I'll leave a link to some of my favourites and the ones I recommend and stuff down in the description so you can go check them out. Another tip is also about the curling wand you use. So for example, if your hair is kind of this length, kind of a bob, you want to use a smaller barreled curling wand rather than one of those big ones I've just shown you. Because your hair is a lot shorter, you can't wrap the hair around the wand enough times to get a defined curl. So if you're really wanting to curl your hair, you should go for a thinner curling wand if your hair is shorter and a thicker curling wand if your hair is longer, unless you want the spirally curl look. So my next tip is to kind of brush your curls out with your fingers first and then with your brush. This separates the curls out and it looks a lot more flattering. I really don't like it when I see curls that have just been literally curled and left. You should always kind of diffuse them a little bit. I recommend using your fingers first, and this is because if your hair is quite prone to falling out, it's easier to kind of do it with your fingers and it's a little bit less harsh than going in with a brush and just kind of brushing through. Also, another quick tip is if your curls tend to fall out quite a lot, spray a bit of sea salt spray in the bottoms. This will just help hold the curl a little bit more and gives it a little bit more definition too. So I definitely recommend using one of those if you feel like it's going to fall out or you want it to last all day. I'm pretty sure that is everything now, so let's get into the tutorial. So I've already sectioned the first layer of my hair off. Now I do recommend doing it if you wear extensions or if your hair is slightly thicker or longer. If your hair is thinner, you don't really need to section it off because you can find all of the pieces when you just curl your full head. But because my hair is slightly thicker and I've got extensions in, I'm going to section my hair off. So I'm just going to give it a quick brush through to make sure that there's no knots. So for me, I prefer a thick kind of wavy curl, so that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm using this curling wand. I'll leave all of the information to it down below. It's amazing. I've had it for years and I bought it myself and it's only like £20–30, so it's definitely worth it. So I'm just taking my curling wand and I'm going to grab a section of hair. You want the section of hair to be a very similar width to your curling wand, maybe slightly smaller. You don't want it any bigger, otherwise it'll take too long to curl and you'll be leaving it on the curling wand forever and it's just not good for your hair and it won't curl it very well either. And what you want to do is take your curling wand, place the curling wand behind the hair and then wrap the hair around. And then let go, catch it in your hand just to let it cool down in your hand for a few seconds. And then you should be left with a curl. Now, the longer you hold it in your hand, obviously the more spirally it will be and the longer it will last. Also, if you want it to last a little bit longer, you can clip your curls up like this as well, and that'll make sure that they stay in all day or night. Obviously, the longer you leave it on the curling wand as well, the tighter the ring will be. So I'm just taking this next section, placing the curling wand behind the hair, wrapping it around, holding it for a few seconds, and then I'm going to let go. So that's the first section of hair done. Now I'm going to section my hair again and repeat the exact same process. Place the curling wand behind the hair, wrap the hair around, hold it for a few seconds and then let go. Also, please ignore the state of my nails. I know they look terrible, but I was having acrylics done and I never realised that I was actually allergic to the stuff in the acrylics, and it was making my hands go really funny. So now I have to have boring short nails, but it's okay, I can deal with it. The reason why I always say wrap it behind the curling wand is because you want the curls around the front of your face to float away from your face. Having the curls float away from your face is a really universally flattering look, which means that it will probably suit all of you the best. What you want to do when you get to kind of like the middle part of the hair, you don't want it to be the parts around the front of your face, you want it to be kind of in the middle and at the back. You take a section of hair and you place the curling wand in front of the hair and wrap it around. So this just adds a little bit more texture to the hair and gives it a little bit more of a beachy look, I guess. You don't want to do it too much, you just want to add it in every so often when you've curled your hair. Alright, I'm just going to take this last layer down now. So I'm just going to kind of flip this part of the hair over. Now all of the hair has been curled. I'm just going to open the curls up with my fingers. I'm just going to take my comb and just back comb the top part of my hair. You guys know I love my back comb. You could finish it off with some hairspray, but I'm going to leave it like this, I think. And that is it. That is how you curl your hair. I really hope you enjoy this video. Please let me know if it did help you and if you're going to try it out or not and how you get on. Obviously, if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye.